Hey guys, Lachipanet joined by Elprez and Laverin for our recap video on Symphogear GX. We've just done our set review, fresh off it, or tired off it, whichever way you want to look at it. And we're just going to quickly go over what we discussed in a condensed format. So
Stroganoff should not have tomatoes in it.
Yeah, it's
that
everyone
is
learned
my
today.
that is my main concern with this set. It's factually inaccurate regarding both tomatoes and also female anatomy.
Yes.
Yes.
Also, welcome to the Church of RNGesus. Jesus.
Well, we play Weiss. We're already all converts.
So
So more importantly, well, maybe less importantly, depending on how you look at it,
there'll be a
what,
recipe for real Stroganoff in the
that's
description.
not what I was going to say. But um, what do you think the meta colors of Symphogear will be going forward?
I'm looking at yellow, red, blue. I think it's tricolor.
I'm
I
also
think
going yellow,
Tribal.
red, splash blue.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking yellow red. I don't see blue cards good enough to play. A contentious viewpoint, sure, but I just don't think there's blue cards good enough to play.
I think the 2-1 blue support is worth splashing no matter what, since these events effectively are paid out for free, so you get a free level support for almost no effort.
I
Just
guess
leveling
that's
up.
fair,
You can level up
especially
1 if you're, because you're going to run like somewhere close to at least 3 of the 0-0 Searcher. So, like, you have.
absolutely, yeah. So it's a free
Just,
splash anyway.
yeah, it's a free splash into the 2-1 support, so.
I can accept that. Like, I just don't think any cards in this set are worth splashing out for. I'd much
I'm,
rather have a focused yellow with like bombs at level 1, rather than splashing for blue in order to get the plus level support.
Yes, that's where we differ, because I don't really value level 1 Suiciders too highly, so I'd rather splash to the
That's
1
fine.
0.
It's a medical. Like,
yeah.
I think that's acceptable to say. Red is obviously going to be for level 3 Chris and maybe for Maria, without the event.
I don't really see a reason why you would play Maria over Setsu Hibiki, though.
Yeah, that's fair as well, because Gungnir functions as a sort of burn
Yeah.
regardless.
The only way you're going to play through to Maria is you have to go with the whole kick and boodle of her level 1 game, because you're going to want to run that top checker.
You're going to want to run a bunch of shenanigans to make that very funny.
Because
Yeah.
with the events you're going to have in your deck, you're going to have such a low chance of hitting on with that card. You want all the help you can get.
Yeah.
That is fair enough. I think red-blue is another deck you can build, but it wouldn't be as good because so many good cards right now are yellow.
Yeah. That's on that point. Like, I think the primary level 1 combo or level 1 game plan to take away from is the Mikan clone is not good enough in my mind. I'd rather have the Bonders.
I am not sold on the Mikan or the Kokomi or whatever clone either, purely because I think people are out to stop Kokomi from going off, and it just so happens that this Hibiki is the same power level as Kokomi.
I'm of the opinion of you can still run it. It's perfectly playable, but it's not double R worthy.
I completely agree. It was a
Oh, it's
rare into
definitely not double
Loveru.
R worthy.
Yeah,
Definitely not double R worthy, and it's better into Loveru to begin.
yeah.
In
It's
addition
like
to
this
that.
card. This card got a rarity up for no real reason other than the fact that it's.
Again, it's like they saw the card into Loveru and said, this is a good card, and then completely forgot why the card was so good into Loveru.
Yeah. All I can chalk this up to is the standard deck music trait tax. Thank you, Bushiroad.
Well, no, that doesn't work because like the red ignition module was for music, and that
Wait,
was
wait, wait. Is
buffed
the
from the
zero
magic
zero?
version.
How much power does the 0-0 drop searcher have? The double rare.
500.
Dang. Okay, it did get music taxed.
Yeah, the music and magic tax,
Yep.
kind of.
Well, music
So-
music drop searchers are 1500 power as opposed to 25. So
Yeah. So green does not seem like it's a thing.
no, only if you like stick very strictly to like here are the green cards. Here are the green cards from the old set. Let's just keep with green.
The Kirika Clock Sender is very splashable, and it's just comes down to your own choice of like how you like to finish the game.
Yeah.
I feel like Clock Sender is perfectly serviceable. It's just your own choice.
I think the fact that all the level 3 finishers from the set require a climax combo makes them all compete with each other.
That is
Except for the set 2 Hibiki.
Well, on
Oh,
set,
wait, no,
this
you
set.
mean the green. Yeah, no.
So the
Never
Clock
mind.
Kicker, the Chris, and the set this set's Hibiki all require climax combos to actually push additional damage.
Maria.
She's the one who doesn't fight, but she has her own problems. In fact, you're gonna have to run cards to help that card go
Yeah,
off.
you're absolutely right about that.
So like all of your finishing level threes from this set like compete with each other in terms of slot, not because of they take the same slot, which they do, but because of climax based largely. That said, like there aren't that many impressive climax combos that I saw personally.
Yeah, I don't think there was a great climax combo in this set aside from the
Alchemist
Mikan
one
clone, which
and the
is
Mikan clone, I
by
guess.
yeah that one is just baseline good, and the Alchemist one is very niche.
Oh, Chris as well, but
Well, they
Yeah,
updated the Horizon Spirit combo from set two.
correct. They released the PR Horizon Spear as a gate, which makes that significantly better if your meta completely lacks
anti-salvage.
Talavru, Anti-Salvage Kantai, and Little Busters, and I guess Dog Days.
I find it very hard to believe that you're going to find any shop that doesn't have like one or two people playing two lover these days, though.
But it's
I
fine.
agree.
I feel like you, with that climax combo in general, you want to run a split of both. So
Yeah,
You
if
want
you
to
run
run
across
plus two soul.
anti-salvage, it's not the worst thing ever.
just two soul slam them and call it a day.
Plus two souls, plus two soul, yeah. They're still global. It's not like the LB Rim where you want all plus two souls.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, I think that covers what the build will probably be like going forward. I think Japan has a huge bias towards Nana Mizuki, which is why they're going to have a lot of Tsubasa in their builds. And I think that's just straight up wrong.
I'm inclined to agree.
Yeah, they absolutely do. They
The
still
build
play
will probably be
Nanoha.
Tsubasa Chris, is what I'm going to assume in Japan.
No, I'm pretty sure that they'll just play yellow level 1 and then splash for Tsubasa out of nowhere.
I just think like because like two lover exists and money counter is obnoxious, I think a hexproof finisher is just so invaluable. If not a hexproof finisher, at least something that does the finishing on attack, you know?
Hibiki's not played as a hexproof finisher. She's played because she's an 11k 2 soul beta that also happens to be like unanti-changeable,
Hexproof and also like
unbounceable.
has mild upside if you do get
It's your,
canceled.
she's pretty much your best level 2 option.
Yeah.
And you can loop her as well if you need the finisher option, which is really strong.
Yeah. In addition to that, there's still like I like Chris a lot because it's an on attack effect, which means that you don't get money countered. But if you do go all in on the burn counter plan, I guess you're sort of playing against Charlotte, which can be like if you're up against Charlotte, that can be a little bit rougher.
I think you might get wrecked by Log Horizon late game, but Log Horizon has to not get destroyed by your level 1 for that to happen. And I
Yeah,
think they're going to get
I don't
destroyed by
think
level 1s.
I don't think you will ever beat level 1 with Lock Horizon.
It's a very sad series when it comes to that. So I guess top 3 cards or card combinations in the set.
I guess I'll go first. Chris, Gungnir,
Mm.
and I'm gonna give it to the Bonders. Not the other Bonders, specifically the yellow Hibiki Bond combo.
Well, you said exactly what I was going to say, so I'm going to talk about my honorary 4th place of the 1-0 support, which checks the top 2 and ditches 1 card.
I agree with the top 3, but I'm going to talk about my honorary 4th pick would be the 1-0 Tsubasa plus 500 plus 1 level and Brainstorm. I mean, the card
I
is
can
amazing.
respect that. I can respect that. Yeah, we're all unanimous. Chris is the best card in the set. Gungnir is the best advanced summon, and the best level 1 game is the Hibiki Miku Bond, which, unlike other random 2-girl pairings, is all in trait.
And it's kind of
I'm a little-
rapey. The relationship is kind of rapey.
I've not watched the show, but
I
Uh,
haven't watched the show either. I'm looking at the card arts like I'm basing them on the card arts.
skin shit though.
Yeah, it seems unhealthy.
All right, last.
There's a lot of skinship in this show.
Seems unhealthy.
Last question. Where will Symphogear fall in this dark meta of ours?
I'm putting it actually just a tier below Girlfriends, Nisekoi, and Two Lovers for myself. I think.
I still don't think Girlfriend Beta is up with those two. It absolutely isn't.
I'm with Will, where it's below the
It's
most tyrannical decks.
It
but
sits solidly in the A plus tier, basically.
I would also put Guilty Crown in the A plus tier, but that's just because maybe I'm overvaluing the deck. But I happen to think Guilty Crown is quite strong if played properly.
Guilty Crown's just the worst version of like 4 different decks that happens to have a global support brainstorm.
The global support brainstorm though, it's amazing.
That's the only reason Guilty Crown can even be compared to stuff like even Kankole or Talovru, LB Twins. All these decks do Guilty.
Cancole.
All these decks do Guilty Crown's thing better, but this deck just works because it has the stupid Love Life Brainstorm at level 0,
Yeah. Except it salvages and only rests 1.
which is even better because
Oh my-
double Brainstorm.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the only reason Guilty Crown's even playable, and as such, I'm of the belief it is it is a step under the decks like I guess Symphogear goes here now. So Symphogear, Girlfriend Beta, Index, what else? Madoka, Little Busters, and
I think that sounds about right. I can't think of anything else I would necessarily put there, because for me, like the A even tier, right? Like is like defined by terraformers.
SAO goes there.
SAO goes there, sure.
Yeah, SAO goes there
But
for
like
sure.
the A even
Yeah,
tier,
it
like
is very good.
Like the A even
Sound
tier,
is
like
very terrifying even now.
yeah, but like the A even tier for me is like characterized by terraformers as a deck.
A tier, like I'll give Guilty Crown A plus if you want because it's got so many results. But again, its results come from the yellow build which you aren't championing. So both you and I find that pretty sus. If you see where I'm coming from.
Yes, I can agree if you're talking specifically the yellow build of Guilty Crown.
I also don't think the green build is big enough to beat things that want to wall, and it's also too small in defense against most things anyway, even with the 102k counter.
I think it is because of a combination of like how the set works with the scry mechanic. In that, you know, when you're running the 1-0 like full field, which is going to be like 1 to 2 copies.
Hare? People still play Hare?
Yeah.
Oh, I have to offload my triple Rs. I thought people just stopped playing that card. Because it's not funeral parlor trait.
But
It
because
makes
of the Ricky searcher, you can find her with that because it's not restricted to
I
funeral parlor.
guess, but it doesn't buff your guy sufficiently. You'd much rather just have double Inori back row and
It
leave
depends
the
on
scry
what level 1 game you're running
depends
though.
depends on your level 1 game. It's more so for the scry effect because the scry effect is so huge in Guilty Crown. You want to get as many scries as possible.
I played pre-comeback Guilty Crown, and the scry effect was amazing. Ridiculous control. But that's not the point at hand. I think Symphogear is solidly above Guilty Crown as a set right now, because the level 1 game is just... It ranges from oppressive to very sustainable, and the level 3 game is very, very good. Level 2 is fine as well, because 11k hexproof is quite big, even with no oversized counters.
Yep. Okay. Now that we've gone over the set, back to Stroganov. Tomatoes.
Yeah. Tomatoes. So I took the liberty of looking some recipes up on just the internet, and you're correct, none of them actually have tornadoes in them.
So this is Japan's fault.
It is Japan.
Yeah, it is absolutely Japan's fault. So this fairly reputable recipe calls for some tomato paste, but no tomatoes, and also not very much tomato paste.
Like a tablespoon?
It's actually a quarter cup, but this is serving for a lot of people because there's a kilo of steak.
A kilo of steak.
Oh, that's a lot.
That's a lot of steak.
Well, beef stroganoff has beef in the name, so you've got to have a lot of beef, right?
Well,
Certainly hope so.
I guess that recipe will go into our post.
300 milliliters of sour cream is quite a lot.
Yes, it's like a third of a liter almost.
Yeah, they stress how much you need to slice the beef very thinly. I've never been very good at knife handling, but slicing a kilo of steak thinly sounds like an absolute chore.
Well, that's what you get to get good beef stroganoff.
Is the flour in there as a thickening agent? Is there any?
Yeah, you probably want to thicken that, because like, otherwise it would be very soupy, you know?
You'd have to, because it's a sauce. It's not a soup. It's not a stew either.
Yeah, you'd have to have something to thicken it with so you can eat it with something else.
Yep. I've got Jamie Oliver's recipe here. It's got a slosh of brandy in there because the Brits love their brandy.
Oh my goodness. So, Stroganov, I guess. This event is so bad, by the way. Don't.
Jamie is a liar. His 15-minute meals never take 15 minutes. They take a lot more than 15 minutes.
Now, is that counting the prep work?
I haven't actually read the book, but they definitely don't take 15 minutes. He does not advocate any tomato whatsoever. He has a swig of brandy, a whole lemon,
A swig.
a swig.
That's like a very
That's
technical measurement right there.
So as
well,
a Brit,
you measure it like after you've had at least 2 swigs yourself. The third goes in the actual pot.
but if you're, I do have to wonder if you've drunken that much brandy, is that how you end up putting tomato in your beef stroganoff?
Well, you were gonna make tomato paste, and you just went, let's stuff it.
But tomato paste isn't actual tomato. Like, it's not tomato water, which permeates significantly more than just paste. Because the beef stock and water that
So,
you add.
if we've established that the brandy is what makes you put full tomatoes into your beef stroganoff.
Oh, no, no, I haven't established that. that's a hypothesis of mine.
Okay, if that's our hypothesis, right? So, what were the Symphogear girls on?
Obviously,
it-
they all had a couple swigs of brandy. It's not the dance, man.
I would bet they're on pingers because it seems like that sort of show.
Something about unhealthy relationships.
I've seen some
Yeah.
of the action sequences, and those aren't sane.
Those
like-
aren't sane.
It's like a less believable Gurren Lagann, and Gurren Lagann is not exactly the pinnacle of plausibility.
I don't think anyone watches anime for plausibility.
Some people do. Depends on what you're watching. Like, for example, the
One
greatest
Punch
masterpiece
Man,
of our
obviously.
time, the K-On!, the greatest masterpiece of our time, is
Dear God.
absolutely plausible, right? I'm joking.
No,
I'm joking.
there's no one in real life with that thick of eyebrows.
Hey, rich people are different, you know?
Clearly.
Okay, now that we've met our off-topic quota for the day, I'd like to thank you for joining us in our Symphogear GX review. I'd also like to thank our special guest today. And if you've got any comments, positive, negative, referring to beef stroganoff, please leave them below, and we'll get back to you.
If you find a good recipe with tomatoes in it, maybe we'll try it.
I've done far more research into this than I'd planned in my entire life, so I'd like to use this knowledge at some point. So we hope you've enjoyed this dissertation on Russian foodstuffs, and we'll see you for presumably,
UBW 2, I believe, is the next set that's coming up.
sure, that or Abyssals, one of
Fun
them.
times.
Is Abyssals coming out the same day? Or same time?
I have no idea.
Well, boat girls of the evil variety, so the American variety, sorry, Kansai. American ships.
Whoa,
Pearl Harbor, never forget.
You don't have to actually say it. No one's supposed to know.
No one's supposed to know. Those
okay, no
evil
one watches
Americans.
these. No one watches these.
No one, like,
Alright.
maybe 200
So-
people a week.
We will see you next time.